god, hey, so glad you can make it. I thought you were dead. Which is what I would say if I didn't post my last Ever After High video and it didn't get like 100,000 views. Bro, the fandom's not dead, I guess? I thought I was alone with my thoughts about Ever After High with no one to share them to, but alas, you guys came. We're here together, so let's talk. I made another Ever After High video like a week ago. If you want to watch that, you can. I'm not gonna link it, just find it if you want. Today we're gonna talk about my favorite aspect of any show, the ships. And boy, oh boy, do I have opinions. I am only gonna talk about the main ships. If there are any other big ones that I missed, let me know. We will not be doing a part 2, but maybe I'll give my thoughts in the comments. So let's just get started. We have a little tier list over here. At the top is get married already. And then the second is yes, please. Third, kind of cute. Fourth, not feeling it. And then bottom, big nope. First, let's start off with Raven and Dexter. My parents get married already. God damn. You know, I love them. I love the goth evil girl aesthetic with the nerdy like prince. That is everything to me. Even though Raven's like not super edgy in the sense that her personality is very like nice, very approachable, but she does have a little sass, she does have a little flair. But I do love them. I do in fact feel robbed because in the actual show, Dexter and Raven have pretty much had feelings for each other from the beginning, but we never really got any closure, and it was kind of weird. So in True Heart's Day, Raven realized that Dexter wrote the poem for her that kind of, you know, made her feelings more intense for him, and then she saw Cupid with Dexter, and then it's kind of like what was happening. And then it was in Way to Wonderland, Dexter was looking for like Raven and everybody, and at the end Dexter hugged Raven, but she seemed confused about his affections. I don't really know why that would be, because y'all are a thing. I thought we established that. And then, you know, in one of the little like webisodes thing, they went on their first date. That was super cute, but still, like, I do not feel closure. And I think it would also be really interesting to like explore what they mean in terms of their destinies, you know? Like, I saw a lot of people in my other video talking about how Dexter may be like the good king to Raven's evil queen. Actually, that would be kind of ironic if they were actually meant to get together, and Raven's whole thing is like, oh, I don't want to follow my destiny, I want to write my own destiny. But little does she know she ends up falling for the prince that she was meant to fall for. That's kind of spicy. But you know what? I do love them. They're everything. Get married, please. Dexter and Cupid, you know, it's just because I'm such a big Raven and Dexter shipper that this one is going in absolutely big nope to me. You know, Dexter doesn't have romantic feelings for Cupid. It's just, you know, the unrequited love. I do feel bad for my girl Cupid. Like, it's pretty ironic she's the daughter of Cupid and she's having love issues. That's honestly it's relatable, but I'm sorry, Cupid, it's just not gonna work out for you, hun. All right, now let's move on to Ashlyn and Hunter. They're the OTP. They've been strong from the beginning. Well, they haven't been strong all the way through, but they've been strong from the beginning. And I'm kind of glad that it's like, oh my god, a royal and a rebel. Like, oh, Ashlyn's like, oh, I'm kind of disappointing my royal friends and blah blah blah. Maybe we should break up. And Hunter was like, no. And then got together, True Heart's Day, strong ever since pretty much. You know, we love a little secret romance. We love a little forbidden star-crossed lovers. They're really cute together. I love them. Get married. Hopper and Briar. I think they're really cute. I'm not even gonna lie. He's kind of nerdy, gets like flustered really easily, and she's like a bad bitch, and it kind of is giving me Ruby and Otis from Sex Education. That sort of dynamic is something that I really love. They don't have that many interactions in the show, but from what I've seen, yes please. I do in fact kind of love them. I'm not even gonna lie. Duchess and Sparrow. I also do love them. Even though they are kind of besties, but I do kind of love them because, wait, is Duchess a rebel or a royal? I'm pretty sure she's a rebel, right? So they're both like rebel besties. Who knows what Sparrow wants? Sparrow's just chilling, but Duchess wants a better destiny for herself. I think that's something that Sparrow can understand. Their stories both sort of relate to music, I guess. Well, I don't know if Sparrow's is supposed to, but Duchess is like a little ice skating ballerina queen. And I kind of love them. She's sassy, kind of mean, and he's kind of a weird musical himbo. And honestly, I do in fact love it. Yes, please. Jillian and Humphrey. So So this one's kind of random, but I was watching the like chapter 4 webisodes, the most recent webisodes that came out, and were like sort of a thing. I don't know, there's a little bit of tension, and I think it's kind of fun. Like Humphrey's whole thing is he should be very cautious, you know. We would not want him to have a big fall, don't want to put all the pieces back together, probably really messy. Jillian seems pretty rebellious, you know, she has to climb her beanstalk or whatever, and I think that they're kind of a cool little opposites attract moment. Like they'll both bring out sides of each other that they don't usually see. With more rebellious nature of Humphrey, maybe Humphrey will get her to be a little more cautious. I don't know. I don't really see much of them just from like all we know is from that one webisode, but from that I think they're kind of cute. I'm not even gonna lie, they're kind of cute. Alistair and Bunny, see, they are very cute and they make so much sense, which is why I feel like I don't love them. Like I do, because they're really cute. I mean, we see them both get jealous when they interact with other people. They seem to only have eyes for each other. I think that's really sweet. Although, can they just get together already? That's kind of my feelings about it, but honestly, they're a cute duo, but my feelings for them aren't as strong as with other ships, so I'm gonna put them in kind of cute. Is that right though? I mean, they're meant to be. No, it's just my feelings for some reason aren't that strong, but I support them. Darling and Chase, aka the White Knight and the Red Knight. This is my cup of tea. This is what I'm talking about here, y'all. When they met, it was kind of like a Mulan situation, sort of, except they were on opposing sides, because he thought that Darling was a dude. Alas, she is not. She's just a girl boss who absolutely kicked your ass, and I kind of love that for them. Darling seems like she's really fascinated with Wonderland, so having a boyfriend from Wonderland could be really cute and cool. Although I do ship her with someone different later down the road, we will see. So I'll put them in yes please because the concept is really appealing to me. I think that dynamic could be really cool because, you know, Chase has a lot of respect for her. Darling has probably respect for Chase, even though she was the one who kicked his ass. I still think it could work out and it could be cute. Darling and Apple. This ship could be everything. So get married already. Here's the deal. So in the actual show, Darling was the one that awoke Apple from her enchanted sleep. They did in fact play it off as CPR. But it was magical CPR. And why would it work if there wasn't a connection between them? Do you know what I mean? Like an enchanted kiss that wakes someone up from a spell has to have love involved. That's kind of like the little rule that you have to follow in terms of fairy tales. And apparently it is canon that the kiss was out of love? I don't know. Some people were saying stuff about that in the comments, but I didn't really follow. The thing and the problem is that I didn't feel a connection between them canonically in the show, despite their kiss. The kiss was kind of unexpected to me. I did love it because it did open my eyes to the possibilities, but in terms of the show, there wasn't a lot to work with. However, I was thinking this ship could actually be so cool because what if, so Apple and Daring thought that they were going to be together because that's their destiny, right? So from a young age, Apple and Daring, their families are very close. You know, they're always at each other's castles or whatever they do. They're always trying to socialize, you know, trying to get comfortable with each other because they know that they're going to be married someday. But little do they know that instead of Daring, Apple is hanging out with Darling, and you know, they kind of meet from a young age, start to have a little thing, and then, you know, it gets complicated because Apple's supposed to be with Daring, but she likes Darling because, you know, they've known each other also from a young age, but, you know, they're the ones that fell in love. That would have been so good. And, you know, who knows, that's what could have happened, but I didn't see a lot of tension in the show. They could be everything, and they are everything. So I want them together. Apple and Raven. Okay, so a lot of you guys mentioned that, hey, Amanda, if you kind of like the way Ever After High was going, or the way that I was describing my ideal Ever After High situation sounds a lot like The School for Good and Evil. And guess what, y'all? I did in fact read that book. Not the entire series, just the first book. It was a long time ago, so I do forget most of it, but what I was thinking was that I do know that there was this like blonde girl and she thought she was gonna be a princess, and then there was this like weird short black haired like sort of goth girl, and the blonde haired girl ended up being like a witch, like the villain, and then the other one ended up being the princess, and that was like a whole plot twist thing. But I'm pretty sure at the end of the book the goth princess kissed the blonde witch and awoke her from some sort of spell. I don't remember. I just remember being really shook when I read that as like a kid. And that could be everything. That could be Raven and Apple. Ideally, that's what I would have wanted with the show, because that's just so, it's so good. Apple not only falls in love with the person that she's supposed to like despise, her villain, but Apple also turning into the villain in the process of trying to get Raven to become a villain. Bro, come on. And then Raven would also be really conflicted as well, because if she loves Apple, then she would want Apple to get the destiny of her dreams, but she can't sacrifice her own destiny. Guys, with the actual show, I do ship Raven with Dexter and Apple with Darling. I think the way the show was going, it wasn't going into the Apple and Raven direction, but I do really love this concept, but they're not necessarily endgame for me, you know? Like, this is a really, really, really solid yes, please, because it could be everything. Apple and Daring. Big nope. Nuh-uh, no. It just, you know, they're kind of besties, and I kind of want them to both be gay. I think that would be so funny. Like, they're literally the staple heterosexual couple of the fairy tale world, and what if they're both gay? That would be so funny. And that's, honestly, that's my headcanon. That's why I cannot possibly ship them together. They seem like besties for the resties and nothing more. Now, we're gonna get to all of the women that have been shipped with Daring, but like, they all lasted for a really short amount of time, and there was no explanation as to why Daring was the only person being shipped with all of these women, and it was kind of like random and weird. Daring and Cerise. Cerise was the first person that Daring seemed to have sort of like a romantic little tension connection thing going very early on in the webisodes, and also I believe in terms of the actual Ever After High dolls on the back of the box, because I did used to have the dolls. Cerise's little like blurb about herself said that she liked like a dominant man or whatever, like the leader of the pack, and guess who that would be? Mr. Daring Charming. And I was all for it, because this was kind of like a random pairing. Oh, Cerise, she's a girl boss. She can rip your heart out literally if she wants to. She is like, you know, at the top of the pack, and Daring seems to have this complex where he needs to save the damsel in distress, which makes a lot of sense because that's probably what he's been raised to believe from a young age. But then, you know, he meets Cerise and he's like, damn, she's a little bit of a girl boss, a little bit of a queen, a woman of power. And I think that that could be a really interesting dynamic, and I was literally really on board the Daring and Cerise train while it lasted. I mean, it didn't, you know, they had a little moment in Throne Coming, but you know, I thought it was gonna go somewhere. I thought, like, who would have thought Prince Charming and then the daughter of Little Red Riding Hood and the Bad Wolf? Like, it doesn't make any sense, but that's why I love it. I love when things don't make sense, but I still love it. I'm going to go and put them in yes please. Y'all really made me feel something. And then out of nowhere in the webisodes, Daring went on a date with Lizzie Hartz. I was a little bit hurt because it kind of meant that Daring and Cerise weren't a thing anymore, and I was kind of like, what was happening? But they were kind of cute. Like, Lizzie is very, she seems very cold and distant at the beginning, at least, of Ever After High, very much off with your head, and Daring kind of didn't know how to respond to that, but then they had a really cute date, and it was really cute. Although, I do see them more as friends. That episode was really sweet. I don't really ship it, but wow, this is the first one in the not feeling it. Now, we get to the person that Daring actually ended up with being Rosabella Beauty. I don't like them. A lot more people like this ship than I thought, because I've seen a lot of Daring and Rosabella shippers in the comments of my other video. I can't relate. Y'all stay safe. It's just that, you know, my whole thing, it makes too much sense. Okay, so Daring being the beast and Cerise being half wolf, they're both sort of furries. That sort of makes sense to me. I don't know about y'all. I get that he was a self-absorbed, a little bit fruity vibes prince, and then here comes along Rosabella, literally the epitome of goodness and grace and beauty, and she teaches him how to have feelings and care for others. Yeah, been there, done that, y'all. I want some spice. I don't know. I do have to admit that they are cute and they do seem happy together, but personally, I cannot jump on board this train when you introduced Daring and Lizzie and Daring and Cerise, who are both really cool and unexpected matches, and you're gonna expect me to just absolutely move on from both of those little romance subplot things. You're expecting me to hop on board the Daring and Rosabella train? How can I possibly do that when you've given me no closure on the other two little romance things that we're just supposed to forget? Am I just supposed to forget about them? I'm not. So big no. So this is my feelings on these ships. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if you agree, don't agree. I guess I pretty much like all of the ships for the most part, except for the ones that clearly don't work, or I'm just salty about Daring and Cerise and Daring and Lizzie. I don't know, man. Ever After High, it really does something to me, man. It really makes me feel feelings that no other show does. I wonder if it could come back. Monster High is in fact coming back, apparently. I didn't even know that. Some people were saying that if that little reboot does well, then maybe there's a chance for Ever After High, and I do understand that, but at the same time, the success of Monster High does not equate to the success of Ever After High. Like, why didn't Ever After High do as well as Monster High? I mean, a lot of people say that it's because of Descendants, and I understand that, but I also feel like Descendants and Ever After High could have coexisted. I mean, I love Descendants and I love Ever After High. I do in fact love Ever After High more. I don't know why people weren't vibing with Ever After High. Maybe if we keep talking about Ever After High, it'll come back. Maybe that's our destiny, guys. Maybe that's the destiny that Ever After High deserves. Or, you know what, better yet, we're gonna write the destiny of Ever After High ourselves, take it into our own hands. I am rewriting Ever After High back into existence, whether the people at Mattel like it or not. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope y'all had a good time, and I'll see you later.